Good day. I am Dr. Newman, surgeon for the 54th Regiment of Foot. My background is I apprenticed to a physician back in England, back in London at the time, and wanted to further my education and was able to get monies provided to go to Edinburgh, Scotland, where I got my degree as a physician. Went back to London, spent 3 years walking the wards of St. Thomas's and St. Guy's Hospital to learn my skills, because in medical school in Edinburgh, it is all lecture and bookwork. You never lay hands on a patient. After that, to learn more for the surgical skills, as Hippocrates said, if you want to learn medicine, go to war. So I joined the Royal Navy and served in the Royal Navy for 5 years, mostly on His Majesty's ship, the Squirrel. After my time in the Royal Navy, I felt it was time to set up a private practice, so I decided to move to Newport, Rhode Island, and had a well-established practice going until the outbreak of hostilities. And things became a little tense for us that were still loyal to the King. So I ended up, the 54th Regiment came and garrisoned in Newport, and I offered the Lieutenant Colonel my services. And I have now been attached as Regimental Surgeon for the 54th Regiment of Foot. So I first got into reenacting back during the bicentennial. Just before the bicentennial started, a group formed in Gloucester, Rhode Island, and it was the 46th Regiment of Foot. It was a light infantry company. And I started as a line soldier and then became lieutenant in that group. But typical of most bicentennial units, shortly thereafter, a few years, the group kind of disbanded. People lost interest. I still enjoyed it, so I wanted to find another unit, and out towards Merrington, Wallingford area, I found a line company, the 4th Regiment of Foot. And that's when I started portraying the doctor. I was a trauma nurse at the time in the emergency room, and had seen a few people out there running around with a sword and a couple of rusty knives going, "Oh, I'm the surgeon." And I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot more to 18th century medicine than that. So I started researching and doing the surgical impression. That lasted maybe about another 5 or 6 years, and then that group, over time, people moved away, people lost interest, and the regiment folded. For me, it was like I really wanted to keep doing it, but between work and being in the National Guard, I didn't really have time for it. I decided that I'm going to put it on hold and didn't go seeking another unit. But I did continue putting together my kit. The kit I carry I have a ship surgeon's chest that we put together. It's a copy of an original one. We have it fully stocked at this point, and about 45% of what I carry are original pieces, whether they be instruments or glassware or all different types of things. And I try to talk about what's going on, all aspects of 18th century medicine. I don't just stick with the surgical, though most people seem to like watching the surgeries. But I talk about medicines, just about every little bit. Dentistry, I cover all of it, just because people have an interest in all things that took place at the same time. Not that as a surgeon you would necessarily be doing everything, though doing my Royal Navy impression, I mean, on board ship, you were it. You had to be able to do the surgery, compound the medicines, dispense, dentistry, and so forth. Everything had to be covered at the time. So a few years ago, actually, it turns out it's about, I counted it up the other day, and we're up to 9 years now that I got back into reenacting. I went looking online for a regiment and found one, a British regiment not too far from where I live, and sent them an email and got an email back saying, "Dr. Newman, how great to hear from you." And I was like, who the hell knows me? And it turned out that the commander of my present unit was a 19-year-old child or teenager in my original bicentennial unit. And they took me back wholeheartedly, and I've been doing the doctor's impression for the last 9 years, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. So I've been asked if you were interested in maybe getting into reenacting, what were your thoughts about people joining? And the time I've been in, I'm in my 60s now, and I'm still doing it. And I started when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you have an enjoyment of history, it's even better. Some people join for many different reasons. The camaraderie of being in a group, portraying history. A couple of our guys have history of their families were from England, and so there's some background there. There's all different reasons why to, but the biggest thing is just to get out, enjoy time with other people. The most amount of fun I have in doing the medical impression is running into people and answering questions, and letting them know. I mean, by the time I get done with most people, they said, we have no idea that they were doing that kind of things in the 18th century. Medicine wasn't backwards back then. I mean, it seems compared to today, but really there's a lot we were doing that mystifies people. So if you have any kind of wants or needs to, hey, get out and either one, hey, I want to dress up, I want to go out and have fun, or I want to go out and I want to, teach history and talk about things, come on out, give it a try. I mean, it can be a little expensive to start with, to get into it, uniform, musket, so forth, but I mean, there's all different positions that you can fill in. You could be, work with the surgeon, you could be quartermaster, you could be maybe somebody who wants to come out and cook and with the group. There's all different things you can do. So if you have any thoughts, any desires, there'll be information below on how you can contact the 54th Regiment to find out more.